Alright, our first story is titled, This May Be a Public Pool, But It Is Mine by Me Maker Dude. So, earlier today, me, my dad, and my brother were going to the pool. It was midday and pretty hot, so we thought, hey, we should go to the pool and relax a little. My dad just hurt his tendon, so he was trying to take it easy. My mom wanted to stay home as she loves to work on her garden, which is a good thing. Anyways, we walked to the gate of the public pool. You will see why I say public. And, of course, there's a friendly old man to let us in. My dad knows him, so they both talk a little. He shows him that we own a house in the community, as this pool was for homeowners only. The pool is empty, so I think, wow, we get the whole place to ourselves. I still make sure to remember that this is not owned by me, so if other people come, I just let them use the pool too. We all relaxed in the pool, playing with the beach ball that I brought from home. My dad was still injured, so we played it safe. We were the only ones at the pool for a solid 15 to 20 minutes. After that, my brother says he needs to use the restroom. Then, Entitled Mom, Entitled Kid 1, and Entitled Kid 2 show up. Entitled Kid 1, what are those people doing in our pool? Entitled Mom, don't worry, Entitled Kid 1, Mommy will take care of it. Entitled Mom then immediately starts to walk up to me, as if I just trespassed on her property. Keep in mind, it's a public pool at this point forward. Entitled Mom, excuse me, sir, but can you please leave the pool? OP, what's the problem? Entitled Mom, sir, this is our property, so please leave. OP, ma'am, this is a public pool. Since when did you own it? Entitled Mom, I know the owner of this community, so don't try me. At this point, I am entirely confused on what is going on. Then I notice that Entitled Kid 1 and Entitled Kid 2 are complaining about the ice pack on my dad's foot. Entitled Kid 2, what is that thing? Dad, it's an ice pack. I got hurt here, so please don't touch it. Entitled Kid 1, can I see what's under it? Dad, I'm afraid not. I don't want it to hurt any more than it does, so I can't take it off. Then, Entitled Kid 2 runs back to Mom as Entitled Kid 1 is trying to convince my dad to take off the ice pack. OP, if you know the owner of the community, what is her name? I knew the owner of the community because my dad had to sometimes answer questions she asked, like if we liked the place. Entitled Mom, David. I start laughing hysterically because 1, the owner of the community is a woman, and 2, that is not even close to her name. I won't say it though, so she can relax knowing I didn't spill her name out to a potential fake homeowner. Then Entitled Kid 2 arrives. Entitled Kid 2, Mommy, he won't take off that thing, proceeds to point at my dad's foot. Entitled Mom, it's okay, you got Mommy. Entitled Mom then proceeds to walk over to my dad when I stop her. Entitled Mom, what are you doing? OP, listen, my dad has that ice pack on his foot because he injured a tendon. He can't take it off, and your demanding won't do anything to change that. Entitled Mom, get out of my way. This is my pool. I can do what I want. Entitled Mom then proceeds to try to push me away and fails. She then storms over to my dad. I never was able to find out what Entitled Kid 1 was saying to my dad while this was going on, so let's just leave it at that. Entitled Mom, can you please remove that thing off your foot? Dad, no, I can't. Entitled Mom, but my kids want to see what is under it, so take it off. I then burst in front of her. The shock of me protecting my dad apparently makes Entitled Kid 2 start to cry. Entitled Mom, now look what you did. OP, listen, you don't own this pool, and you certainly can't force my dad to do something that may potentially take his injury further. Entitled Kid 1 then tries to rush in and pull the pack away, but I stop her. Entitled Mom, do you have any idea who you're messing with? Dad, yes, a fake who just so happened to open the gate without any confirmation that you are a homeowner in this community. Entitled Mom, how dare you speak to me like that? Entitled Mom tries to slap my dad, but I catch her arm before it connects, which was surprisingly easy. Entitled Kid 2 has stopped crying and is bitten my leg. I shake him off. OP, do you have any idea how crazy you and your kids have just proven yourself to be? Entitled Mom, get off me! She yanks her hand away from me, and my brother finally arrives. Brother, what's going on? Entitled Mom, these brats broke into my property and are not cooperating. Entitled Kid 1, Mommy, I want to see what is under that patch. Brother, sorry, but he can't do. Entitled Mom, stop lying. Make him take it off. At this point, I have just had enough. I start to push her away from my dad. Entitled Mom, what are you doing, you disgusting little jerk? At this point, I am furious at her. I may be short, but when you attempt to injure my dad more and try to kick me out of a public place, I pretty much hate your guts. My brother then asks my dad if he can film this, and he agrees. OP, did you just attempt to make me stop pushing you away by calling me short? Entitled Mom, yes, I did. Entitled Mom then slaps me, and it hurts like heck. She then sees that my brother had filmed the whole thing and hurries to get her kids. She runs off. When we showed the footage to the owner of the community, we asked her if she owns a house around here. She says that she never has even entered the community up until this point. Anyways, we try to relax it off and go home. I hope to never see that heartless female dog ever again. Edit. After she left, I went to check on the bite of Entitled Kid 2, and it was bleeding. The kid was so determined to injure my dad more that he bit me. I don't know if he just does that or Entitled Mom taught him to do that, but nevertheless, we disinfected it back home and I had to get a wrap to cover it. It feels better now, so at least I don't have to worry about an infection. Oh man, it seems like pools are just a magnet for entitled parents. Alright, well, on to our next story. This story is called Entitled Stepdad is Upset Because I Locked My Bedroom Door by Wolves Are Fun. So, I just bought some new private toys. This was the first time in about a month that the other 4 people in my house were gone. So I, a horny 18-year-old, decided to lock the door and go for some solo play in the comfort of my bed. Not even 5 minutes later, I hear footsteps coming towards my bedroom. Someone had come home way earlier than expected. Before I can turn down the sound of my toy and cover myself, the person had made it to my door and attempted to turn my knob and push in without knocking. Never have I ever been so relieved to have locked my door. Here is when the conversation starts. Entitled Dad, what the F? Unlock this door. OP, one moment, I'm getting changed. Entitled Dad, open this door right now. Don't you ever lock this effing door. Me, finally covered the evidence. Alright, unlocks and opens door. What do you want? Entitled Dad, don't you ever lock me out of my own effing room. I'll take your door away like last time. Calms down. Now, is this your schedule? Me, yep, just printed it out. Entitled Dad, okay, leaves. I stay silent, knowing that I had nothing nice to say. Luckily, I knew he wouldn't take the door off. It was expensive, and my mom would back me up. However, I don't get to go back to recess, since he kept coming to my room every 5 minutes for some random BS. Short story, but man, I'm a little ticked off still. Threatened to take my door away because I have the decency to lock my door when I'm nude. He would have barged right in, all because he saw my schedule for the year. Effing jerk. Alright, this story is called Father Yells at Me for Saving His Child. Alright, first post on here, be merciful, Reddit. I'll try to keep this short for you guys. I'm a 16-year-old lifeguard, and it was a relatively busy day at the pool. I was currently guarding the deep end of the pool, and this father had been turning around and not paying attention to his child all day. We had talked to him about it several times, but he constantly just said that she could swim fine and paid attention to her for a couple seconds before stopping again. The daughter was maybe 8, and she could swim, but she'd been doing it all day and was tired. At one point, the father left her in the deep end and went to talk to some fellow parents in the shallow end. The kid started to show signs of drowning, flailing arms, bobbing up and down in the water, etc. She's freaking out, so I blow a long whistle, the sign for an active victim, and get off my stand to go in after the kid. Not a very hard save, nothing dramatic. I just had to offer her the lifeguard tube to hang on to and tell her not to grab my neck. We get to the wall and the dad is already standing there, and he blows up on me. I don't remember exactly the stuff he said, but it went something like, "What the heck, you pedophile? I told you she could swim. What are you thinking, touching my kid?" I was shocked. I couldn't think of anything to say, and he started screaming about getting my manager for wasting his time and touching his daughter. I got back up on the stand, a little shaken. One, it's my first save of the summer, and two, I was just yelled at and called a pedophile in my place of work, which involves watching children. Not exactly the best situation. Luckily, my supervisor is a 26-year-old woman who doesn't take poop from anyone, especially about her lifeguards. When I got off my shift, she told me he'd complained to her about me. She'd seen the whole thing and chewed him out about endangering his child and kicked him out of the pool. He hasn't been back for the rest of the summer. Wow, you gotta love entitled parents. You just saved my daughter? You're a pedophile. You should be arrested. This next story is Switch equals entitled parent magnet. So, I got a new Switch a bit after it came out and got Pokemon Let's Go for it because I love this series. Knowing that I was going to be on a short flight, I thought to myself, hey, why don't I bring it? Oh boy, not one but two entitled parent-kid combos came my way. Encounter 1. I'm sitting in Heathrow under the big departure announcement boards, already past security. My gate isn't announced yet and I'm shiny chaining. I lost the chain because I didn't pay attention. When suddenly a tiny voice behind me pipes up, "You have to throw the ball into the yellow ring, entitled kid." I half turn, smile at the maybe 6-year-old boy and nod. Yup, I know. Thinking that's it, I go to the next Meowth and catch that as well. Entitled kid, again. No, you already have that. You need to catch something else now. Not wanting to argue with the kid, I shake my head and tell him that I want lots of Meowths. The kid goes away, and I chain maybe another 5 or so before a rather large lady steps, like, uncomfortably close to me, and leans down into my space. The entitled mom. "Are you the one who told my son to go away?" Bad American accent, by the way. Southern, I think. No. Praying that this is an entitled parent story, I hope that's the end of the conversation. It's not. He's good at games, you know. He could play professionally. I bite my tongue at her BS. I'm not sure her kid is out of diapers and she wants him to play it professionally. Sure. She seems to wait for me to say something else, but thankfully, when I don't, she sighs dramatically and waddles off. Great, I think. Time for a nice, relaxed flight. Ha ha ha. Encounter 2. I'm comfy in my window seat, belt buckled, tray up, and relaxed. The seats next to me seem to be empty. It wasn't a full flight, being an afternoon trip to Ireland. Then at the last moment, a pretty normal-looking lady with 2 young kids, 7 and 9 maybe, practically sprints onto the plane and drags the kids down the rows behind her. She slows down near my row and I start getting a bit nervous, and then disaster strikes. She shoves the 2 kids down into the seats next to me and sits across the aisle on the other side. I immediately offer to switch seats with her so she can sit with her kids and I, well, don't have to. She doesn't even acknowledge that I spoke to her. Well, whatever, I think. I connect my headphones to my phone, put on some music, and pull out my Switch again. I fly too much to still listen to the safety announcements. I start a new chain, this time to spam Candace, aka Rattata. We take off and maybe 10 minutes later, a small hand reaches over to try and touch my Switch. Let's Go doesn't use a touchscreen, so the boy wouldn't have been able to do anything, but I don't want my stuff touched. Sorry, that's mine. Please don't touch it. I tried to be nice, even though the kid was a tad too old to not know this. Isn't it my turn yet? The entitled brat goes. I actually thought I misheard him through my headphones, so I took them off and asked him to repeat himself. Nope, still the same. What do you mean, turn? The other kid turns to me and goes, Mama says we have to share toys and games. Everyone gets a turn. That's nice, but this is mine and I don't want to share it. I'm doing something. The girl seemed content enough with this. The boy is not. But you have to let us. Bruh, no I effing don't. Temper starting to rise. I shift it even further away from him. He starts to sniffle like he's gonna cry, but it's very obviously fake, so I just ignore it. Blessed silence. For a minute. Then, the entitled parent who ignored me earlier gets up and actually waves her hand in front of my face, even though my headphones weren't even in and I could have heard her. I want you to share that with my kids, she pretty much orders. Sorry, but no, it's mine and I want to use it. Ugh, come on, we're on a plane! A plane! It's not like we can run off with it or anything. That thought hadn't actually occurred to me, but it sure did then. Doesn't matter. I'm doing something. Please leave me be. One exaggerated eye roll later, she sits back down. Fine, when you're done they can play. Again, not even a request, just an order. I play a bit more and then accidentally put it in sleep mode. I pack it away quickly. Are you done now? The entitled parent asks as soon as I put it away. Sorry, battery is dead. I quickly put my headphones on and stared out the window. I know she said something else, but I didn't bother listening. I was just glad she left me alone after that. Tense rest of the flight and some glares from her, but nothing much else. The kids didn't even care anymore, by the way. Oh, and when we landed, I walked straight out with my hand luggage, and entitled parent and kids were at the conveyor belt waiting for their bags. Hope they lost them. How dare you not let my kids use the Switch that you paid for? That obviously should belong to everyone. Alright everyone, this is the end of the video, and if you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.